Ready for it.
Thrilled for it.
Presenting Franks with Turbo Booster Jet Engine.
Two teams, one dream, zero titles yet. But that changes come Tuesday night. For one of Royal Challengers Bengaluru or Punjab Kings, a wait of 18 years is set to end. The weight of 18 seasons is set to lift. It's time for the IPL 2025 final, and we build up on Nexa Presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout in the company of Tom Moody, Varun. First time in 9 years that we go into an IPL final knowing that there will be a first-time champion. The last time that happened, both these men were involved in some capacity in that game. It just adds so much more to what is already such a special occasion, Tom. The stakes involved here.
Well, it's huge, and the pressure, because you're talking about two teams that, were part of the very first IPL in 2008. It's been a long, long wait. Some have sort of visited playoffs and finals more than the other. But the expectation and the wait for fans, for players that have been involved for a long time, management, but owners as well. There's a huge amount of pride that's with the ownership as well, and they'll be desperate to get this one over the line so they could see that trophy sitting on the mantelpiece.
It has been a month for long trophy droughts ending across sport. We've seen a lot of clubs in football and waits of substantial years. Varun, you've been in both of these camps. What will it mean to whichever side is able to end this wait of what is now nearly 2 decades?
I think it's going to be big for both sides, especially RCB with their fans. Their fans have been with them through thick and thin. Yes, Punjab have a fan base, but not as big as RCB, I would say. But then when it comes to Punjab, they've been waiting for this as long as RCB. Played less finals. Their hopes have not gone up and down as much as RCB has. RCB in the last 6 years, they've been there 5 years and not able to win it. Maybe this is their time.
There's a lot of the tactical side to examine, as we usually do. But given the stage, they who handle the heat of the moment better make themselves likelier?
To be honest with you, after what Punjab have done to get to this position to beat Mumbai, I don't think that's an obstacle at all. I think this Punjab side have been conditioned mentally in a way that they deserve to be there, and no one's bigger than them or better than them in any contest, and that's how they've played their cricket over the last 2 months, and that's why we see them in the final.
Has that performance and the kind of statement they made with it also put aside what was feeling like an RCB Punjab final, given the events of Qualifier 1, RCB would enter as firm favourites? Is that a little negated now?
I don't think either team are firm favourites going into this game, because Punjab, with the way they've played today, coming back out of a huge loss in the previous game, showing a lot of character, especially Shreyas Iyer with the way he's played, and they've just played a game on this track in this stadium. So they're going to take a lot of confidence, and they're going to go T with each other.
We did feel ahead of Qualifier 2 that Ahmedabad is a surface and a venue that will suit Punjab Kings a lot better, and that performance, especially against the might of Mumbai Indians, went on to prove just that and is a warning sign for RCB.
Without a doubt. That they're recently experienced the whole conditions, the environment, the atmosphere. They'll be feeling very, very confident going into that contest. Yes, there may be a little bit more physical fatigue on their side because they haven't had the break that RCB have had, but, their motor is running and it's warm. So they'll go into this contest, not worrying about little niggles or aches and pains, because the adrenaline will be racing through their veins.
Yeah, and that fatigue is a factor that reflects itself if you look at the history of IPL playoffs. 11 of the 14 seasons have been won by the team that won Qualifier 1. When you look at Punjab Kings from a bowling perspective, is Arshdeep Singh's form after resumption a cause for concern, wicketless in 4 out of 5 games?
I don't think it's a cause for concern, because Arshdeep Singh has shown time and time again that he can lift himself in the big games. Yes, the last couple of games were big games and he should have been there, he should have been at the party, but I just think he's getting a little ahead of himself, not bowling to the fields, trying to outbluff the batsman, which is not the way he generally operates. He's somebody who sets a field and bowls to his field. So if he just goes back to that template, maybe get a wicket up front as a bowler, when you get a wicket in your first or second over in the power play, that does you a huge amount of confidence. And I think if the moment he gets one wicket, his tail will be up, and he'll be putting those performances again.
Are you convinced by the bowling mix that Punjab have? Is there a case for a Harpreet Brar?
It's a very difficult one. I think today proved that I think they've got the right balance. The deployment of their bowling, their bowlers throughout the 20 overs may need reconsidering, and some of their bowling plans to match fields will be reviewed, I'm sure, going into the final. But yeah, I'd be incredibly surprised if they make a change in any sort of way going into the final, unless they have to through injury.
All right, that's Punjab Kings, who are in an IPL final for only the second time and the first since 2014. For RCB, first final since 2016. Commanding as they were in Qualifier 1, there's no need to tinker anything as far as the combination and personnel go?
Absolutely not. You don't want to tinker with your winning combination, especially from a qualifier into this game. Same with Punjab. They're going to go in with the same 11s and put their best foot forward.
RCB haven't played a game in Ahmedabad this season. They only met GT once in the league stage, and that was at the Chinnaswamy. How do you see this venue going with their game and their game plan?
I don't think that matters too much because the surface is a very predictable surface. We've seen scores more often than not 200 plus. So, you know, there's going to be no sort of adapting from a batting point of view. So it's just a case of business as usual. And their bowlers are experienced enough, led by both Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Josh Hazlewood, to be able to make sure that they read the surface and bowl the right areas to have the impact.
Yeah, they've had a lot clicking for RCB for them to make it all this way. 9 different player of the match winners in their 10 wins. You've had Virat Kohli scoring the runs, Josh Hazlewood taking so many wickets. Both those men have played a final at this venue about 18 months ago. They are back in very different capacities. What to you, Varun, are the keys to RCB's chances for succeeding?
I think Virat Kohli getting runs is key for starters, because in playoffs, he could do with a better record, and I'm sure he knows this. We've seen it in the past. I think he's got 350s in all the playoffs he's played. So a big innings from Virat Kohli will set the tone. Him along with Phil Salt have been the backbone of the RCB batting lineup, and I think it trickles down the moment he gets runs, especially in a run chase. Whenever Virat Kohli has scored a 50, they've won every single game. And I think their bowling is in real good shape, especially with Hazlewood coming back, Krunal Pandya stepping up, Bhuvi bowling well again. I think the RCB are set for this game.
Multiple match winners, as Varun points out. Is that the biggest point of difference and RCB's biggest strength going into this final?
That's the biggest point of difference from the last 17 years, I think, for this franchise. Yeah. I think, you know, spreading the workload, spreading the responsibility has been very evident. You know, they've got their balance of their side and their squad absolutely on point this year. So they've got great options. I suppose their biggest threat going into the final is the 2 spearheads in Hazlewood and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, making sure that, you know, they have an impact. Because if we saw what happened to Bumrah in the previous match, if that happens to a Hazlewood, it'd be very interesting to see how RCB responds to that. You know, and Bumrah's humour, like Hazlewood's humour, if suddenly he goes for 40 without any return of wickets, it might look very different for that attack.
Takes us neatly into the battles within this battle, which could define and decide this IPL 2025 final. And Shreyas Iyer, who had said famously after Qualifier 1 that we've lost the battle but not the war, he has to wage something special against Josh Hazlewood because he's had his number, Varun.
Or, you know what, Josh English could wage something special in front of Josh Hazlewood, because that's what he did tonight, in the previous game versus Bumrah, because the way he took on Bumrah in that first over, 20 runs of the first over, really took the sting out of the MI attack. He could do the same with Hazlewood. Again, last time he faced Hazlewood, that was a good shot by him, just went straight to the man in the deep. You never know. Come final day, that same shot could be 3 rows into the stand.
And Shreyas will feel like that dismissal to Hazlewood is now a long time away, given what he did in Qualifier 2.
Yeah, well, he'll be feeling a lot better about that dismissal, but I'm sure he'll be very mindful that Josh Hazlewood has, without a doubt, got his measure to this point. But the form that Shreyas Iyer is in at the moment, I'm sure that he'll respond and respond well.
Yeah, and he's loved batting at this venue. This Ahmedabad is where Punjab began their campaign. Shreyas Iyer, 97 not out in that game with 11 sixes, and then that match-winning, match-defining knock in qualifier 2. That too featured 8 sixes. If we look at the other innings, Arshdeep Singh, tough as it may have been for him in recent games, he has contrasting fortunes against the RCB openers, and Punjab will know that especially in this big game, if you can get a Virat Kohli early or a Phil Salt early, that changes the scheme of things.
Yeah, look, he's got great numbers against Phil Salt. So, and we all know how dangerous Phil Salt can be. He can get out of the blocks very, very quickly and propel RCB's power play. And then you've got Kohli's form sitting in behind that. They're a dangerous pair. So he'll be definitely hoping that, history repeats itself. And I think he's got him 4 times, isn't it? 4 times for 37 runs. He'll be hoping it's 5 times for 40 runs.
All those 4 wickets have come this year.
And the thing is, Arshdeep bowls into Phil Salt. Phil Salt is one of those batsmen who looks for room. He looks to make room and carve you through the offside, or looks for room to free those hands through the onside. With Arshdeep Singh bowling at his best and bringing the ball back to Phil Salt, I think he should stick to that plan and not try to outsmart Phil Salt.
All right, then. Let's put you on the spot. Who are we backing in this final?
I think it's going to be a very, very close contest, but I just feel RCB by smidge.
Varun, Aaron.
With Tom, it's going to be a hard-fought, emotional contest. Down to the wire, RCB taking it home.
Oof. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for setting up this title clash for us. The couch believes it is RCB's time, but could it be Punjab Kings, who too have waited all this while for an IPL title? Be sure to catch the build-up a little before toss time on Nexa Presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout.
Ready for it.
Thrilled for it.
Presenting Franks with Turbo Booster Jet Engine.
Nexa.